Yo, what do you do, guys? It is your boy, Leo Mookie here, and I'm back with you with another new chapter of Gundam Strike Force. A little heads up for this story. Like I told you guys when I first started it, it was mainly a way for me to get used to doing more than one or two main characters after all. So this story is going to be put on hold and hiatus for at least a little while. Not forever and not indefinitely, but just for a little while. So after I upload this chapter, say goodbye to the series for at least a little bit. It will return, just not indefinitely. Any rate, let's go through that of a quick recap. We went through that of the events of episode 5 through 6 of Gundam Seed, which the battle between that of the Strike, the Mobius Zero, with that against the 4 stolen G-Weapon Gundams, being the Aegis, Duel, Buster, and Blitz. As things were about to go straight like they would in canon after all, however, with that of a little bit of a new difference. The Gundam Strike Force, its 3 original primary members, step in, with Takumi taking on that of Nicole and his Blitz Gundam, Connor and his Storm Strike Gundam, disarming Dirka and his Buster, Guy and his Xenostrike, basically unleashing a unyielding bombardment onto that of Lacroixit and his flagship being the Lesseps, and Elijah facing off against both Atherin and Isaac in the Aegis and Duel with that of his Cross Strike, as showing on how outmatched and somewhat outgunned they are from their Gundams after all. Even Lacroixit had to step in before realizing that he is now at a disadvantage with the extra support for the Archangel. However, what catches almost all of them off guard, mainly being, instead of the usual pre-recorded dialogue before certain little changes here and there, depending on a person's gunpla, Lacroixit was talking exactly like that of a normal person, which made everybody completely off guard and somewhat worried as well. Which unfortunately, proving that Elijah's suspicions and theories may be accurate about the fact that this may not just be your normal event. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 3, This Is No Game. Heading into that of the Archangel, at least for the time being. However, little did that of the Archangel Crew knew, a few of the random members of the Strike Force who came out and checked out the situation were told to be on standby by that of Rain, just in case anything happens to that of their higher up members after all. Then soon, on the bridge, they began to sense that of over 10 mobile suits already all across that of space, and they all have the frequency of that of the Strike. However, there are even some that aren't really the Strike but close to it. Censoring that of the Strike Noir and that of the Akatsuki as well. With then Narumi feeling kind of nervous, with soon Elijah coming up on that of the main screen saying, "Sorry if this seems a little bit overboard. We're just a little bit cautious, that's all. We know how Alliance people are like when they basically are affected with some things that they can't handle after all. You guys do know to go a little bit overboard when overreacting." With then hearing that, Narumi couldn't help but agree, but as that of an Atlantic Federation soldier, she couldn't help but take that as that of a jab, an insult. However, Nataro, on the other hand, saying that, "Damn him! He's trying to put an intimidation tactic on us. with then soon coming up on the screen as it being Moo, as hearing the entire conversation. However, speaking to the bridge in private through that of a private comm chatter, saying, "Can't really blame the kid. We those of the Alliance, especially those of the Atlantic Federation, we don't really have that of a good reputation. Like he said, they're just a priority if we do anything crazy. So let's just hope that you guys don't go, well, gun crazy, just like what happened with Kira on that of Heliopolis, after all." Within remembering that, soon Natteral, remembering the situation on the now destroyed neutral colony, couldn't help but sigh before thinking, "Right, you're absolutely right, Commander." Lieutenant, within looking at Lieutenant Narumi Ramius, as the long-haired brunette saying, "Right, I'll go and greet our new guest. Laflaga shall be going with me. A few of you should come along as well. I want you to go into the briefing room. We need to know what these guys are up to." Within that, are saying, "Agreed. However, I do like to bring up one thing, Captain. Did it feel weird that they all sounded like that of children?" Within hearing that, soon Narumi couldn't help but sigh before closing her eyes, saying, "Let's just hope that we're just imagining it." With then soon getting out of her chair before floating into that of the bridge, and then heading into the hallway, heading to that of the hangar bay. Within the mechanics and Chief Mechanic Murdoch, seeing that of all of the 4 strike Gundams, within he couldn't help but whistle, saying, "Damn, just look at them. They're such monster." I knew the strike alone was pretty amazing work of machinery, but these look like that of altered, improved, and customized versions of that of the strike. Almost like they're basically what the strike Gundam could have been. With then looking at each and every one, but their heads, some of them seem a little bit different from that of the original strike. Before him noticing that of the double O strike, as noticing on that of the backpack being that of the twin GN drives, with then realizing, what kind of propulsion system is that? Never seen anything like those before. What is Kojiro's inner mechanic is basically showing right now. Within soon, noticing that of Narumi also is now heading finally right into that of the hangar with that of a few soldiers of the Archangel Crew as well. Within, Mu noticing that too, as he gets out of his Mobius Zero, and then heading to that of Narumi, as the blonde-haired pilot, mobile armor pilot, came up and say, "So, what do you plan on doing with those kids?" Within, Narumi saying, "We're not even sure if they are children. I wouldn't be too surprised if they are. Or what are the chances that they're actually coordinators? That's what I'm mainly asking." Within, soon, Narumi couldn't help but feel somewhat annoyed, but also understanding why the commander is basically asking all these questions towards her, saying, "If they are coordinators, then we need to take this slowly. Unlike, they may be in the same situation as Kira, hopefully. If not, then we need to get explanations on why they have that of prototypes that look like that of one of the G weapons, one of the GAT series mobile suits." Within Mu saying, "Alrighty, all yours, boss lady." With then, soon Narumi couldn't help but get annoyed, but also can't help but like that of Mu's, casualness with her. However, little did Narumi know that their conversation was basically, leaked through that of their cockpits, with Elijah basically crossing his arms saying, "So we're basically getting the same kind of welcome that Kira got." Within Connor having his hands in his pocket saying, "Well, no surprise there. I mean, they literally were about to shoot down that of an innocent 16-year-old tech high school student, all because he was a coordinator. If it wasn't for Mu basically stepping in alongside that of his good friend Tola as well." Within, guys saying, "You guys still think that this is so weird. You guys really think that this isn't a game anymore? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Possibly that this is some kind of interactive event with a whole original storyline. I mean, the Dynasty Warriors Gundam games have always done original stories like this. What's the difference? With then Takumi basically sighing, looking at that of Guy, saying, Guy, you're not entirely wrong that the Dynasty Warriors series has always done original stories. However, this is an official story, completely accurate to the original anime of Seed as a whole. The dialogue never changes, even with that of a new Gundam being used by the players. You have to try and open up your mind. Try and realize that this isn't a game, at least possibly not anymore. With then soon guys saying, all right, fine, I'll keep an open mind, but I'll still think that we're still in a freaking game that's just got some new added features after all. I mean, this is Nexus of all things. It's done crazier things before, but there's no way in hell that we're basically inside of an anime. With then soon Elijah saying, all right, guys, enough of the chit chat. We all know what we're planning on doing, right? Let me do all the talking. That also means, Takumi, try not to let your anger get to you. I know how you feel when we're basically disrespected. Within soon, Takumi couldn't help but sigh, saying, I'll at least try. I won't make any promises. Within, Elijah couldn't help but smirk, saying, that's all I can ask for, my friend. Alright guys, let's get out of here. Within, soon, opening up that of the cockpits to that of their well-respected Gundams. Within soon, many of the soldiers having a good grip on that of their weapons, coming with that of pistols and assault rifles, with Narumi basically raising up her arm, telling them to stand down for a bit. Within soon, waiting for each and every one of them to come out. Even Kira, who was heading outside of the hangar, couldn't help but wanting to see on who was in the new strikes, as he couldn't help but be curious on who's piloting the same kind of mobile suits as he did. The same Gundams. First coming out being that of Elijah, second being Guy, third being Takumi, and last but not being Connor, which Connor got the biggest reaction given his cat ears after all, which many of the, Archangel Crew could help but be confused as they continue looking at Connor. Within, Connor blinking, thinking, oh, right, my cat ears. Totally, bad time to basically switch on my avatar this time. Bad time not to switch on my avatar for this event. Then, soon, Narumi saying, who are you for? Within, realizing, you're all high schoolers, are you not? Then soon, Connor saying, technically, I'm 22 actually, which would be in the range of a college student. They, on the other hand, are in the age range of that of high schoolers. Then soon, Connor basically realizing, crap, I spoke way too soon. Then everybody looking at Connor, before then Elijah stepping up, as then Narumi looking at the black-haired American and Japanese young man, then saying, my name is Elijah. As for my last name, I won't be giving it to you guys. At least until I can trust you with the safety of me and my crew. Caught off guard by the assertiveness from that of Elijah, as Narumi couldn't help but say, you seem way too young to be a captain. Looks can be deceiving, especially if you have to grow up, after all. As Elijah giving that of a smirk, then Narumi saying, tell me, who are you and where did you get those mobile suits? Saying, I think this isn't the best time for that. Shouldn't we speak somewhere more privately? Then, soon, guys saying, seriously, can we just skip through all the dialogue already? Ugh. With Takumi basically elbowing him to the side. Within, guy saying, hey! Saying, shut up. Keep listening. With Mu looking at that of Guy and Takumi. Within, getting kind of curious. especially within realizing that Guy is pretty well built for somebody that's said to be a high schooler. It's a couldn't help but smirk. With then Narumi saying, if you say, all right then, follow us. With then soon Narumi basically telling that of Elijah and the others to follow him. Within them doing so, however, Connor preparing that of one of his pistols as being the pistol from that of Gundam 00 actually. As for Takumi, he still has his katana on his back in case anything happens. However, little did any of them also know, Takumi was basically sending that of video footage from his point of view back to that of the crew of the Normandy. Within seeing all of this as being that of Jesse, Hinoka, and Rain, alongside the other members of the strike force who are in their strikes, Akatsukis, and strike noirs outside of the Archangel, seeing about what's happened. Within Rain saying, at least they're playing it off safe. Good work, Elijah. With then soon Hinoka saying, Guy really thinks that this is still a game. I can't really blame him, but within Jessie speaking up as she couldn't help but cross her arm against her ample chest before saying, you can't really, again, I also can't blame him, but this is reality. We're currently in the world of Gundam Seed, considered to be one of the most beloved and one of the most hated Gundam series of all time. And personally, I just hope that we don't do anything too crazy. But then soon, Rain saying, luckily for us, we're still able to log out of this event anytime we wished. So in case things get crazy over there, they can log out. With then Hinoka saying, true, but still, I'm a little worried for them. With back on the Archangel, Kira soon noticed all of them, especially Connor with the cat ears, saying, cat ears? With then Kira also leaving that of the hangar, going to that of the changing rooms. However, instead of Mu following after Kira, he goes after that of Narumi, alongside that of the escorts, taking that of Elijah, Connor, Takumi, and Guy to the briefing room. Kira not wanting to get involved with this because to him, he's still a civilian. He's just doing this. He's just being a pilot to protect his friends from Heliopolis and not alone. Within finally changing out of his uniform and back into his cadet uniform, which he's still feeling a little bit uncomfortable wearing, not because it's bad on him, it's just that he still doesn't like being part of the military as a whole. As he's heading to his bunk, where then soon seeing that of his friends, with that of even Flay there too, who's still pretty nervous around Kira now knowing that he's a coordinator. Within Toll saying, hey, Kira, you okay out there? Within Kira saying, yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for worrying, Toll. Within Sai saying, you were just in the hangar, right? You saw those mobile suits, didn't you? With then soon Kira saying, yeah, I got at least somewhat of a decent look at them. As he remembers looking back at all of the 4 strike type Gundams, saying, they look almost like the exact as the strike, just a bit differently. One of them looks exactly almost close to a near replica of the strike. The only difference being its arms, legs, and the backpack that it has on. Not only that, it looks like it has so many weapons on it, like it was made just for destruction alone. With then soon, Moralia couldn't help but feel a little bit nervous, saying, you didn't see what happened, didn't you, Kira? Within soon, Kira couldn't help but look at his female friend being Moralia. Within Moralia speaking, saying, we saw what those things did, especially the one that you've spoken of that has all the weapons. It was nearly close to sinking the Zaf ship, enemy ship actually. If those Gins and that man from Heliopolis, Raul Croiset, was it? Didn't step in, they probably would have, and we wouldn't have to deal with them. then, hearing that, Kira couldn't help but feel somewhat worried, especially knowing that his friend Athrun wouldn't have somewhere to go if, well, the ship that was carrying him and his comrades were destroyed. However, it would be positive given that his friends would be safe alongside that of the civilians from Heliopolis, even Flay too, but he can't help but think that's wrong, as he wants everybody to be happy, everybody to be safe. He just doesn't want to continue fighting him and other people. Is that so wrong? That's all he wants. But then Zai's saying, if you think that one's terrifying, you should see that of the blue one, the one with all of those swords on it. With then everybody looking at the glasses wearing blonde-haired boy being Sai, with Sai continuing saying, we were on the bridge, we saw it all happen. He was taking on the Blitz like it was nothing, basically pushing him so back to the point that we had time to counterattack. Plus, let's also bring the fact that he wasn't using any thruster power for it. Within soon, told saying, oh yeah, definitely. If I recall, he was using some kind of, particles coming out of the back of his mobile suit. Not any repulsion power like how the Strikes does, or those other mobile suits too. But I think another one also used that of, some kind of glittery particles too. I think it was the gold one. And did you see on how fast it was? It was just like the Aegis. It transformed from that of a mobile armor and basically took out that of the Buster pilot. Cut off its weapons and everything like that before it ran away. Then there was the other one. Hey, did you know that it had a freaking cape and it was able to block the beam fire from the Aegis? But then Kira realizing that's right. With then remembering that Elijah using the cross strike blocked Athrun's beam fire from his beam rifle with just a flick of his cape, and was going straight back into battle. Couldn't help but be shocked, surprised, and somewhat at awe on what just happened, but also was really worried for Athrun at the exact same time. Those guys, they were so weird. With then soon Kira's within Cuzzy speaking up saying, hey, Kira, you don't mind us asking, what were the guys, you were in the hangar, right? What did the guys look like? With then soon Kira saying, honestly, they look like normal people to me. With then Flay saying, were they coordinators by any chance? With then Kira feeling a little bit hesitate, saying, I don't know, actually. I'm not sure if they are or not. With then Moralia wanting to comfort Flay for a bit before saying, could you give us a description of them? Sure. The one I presume to be the leader, he had that of black hair, he wore that of a black jacket too, with that of fur on the hood and on the collar too. With that also wearing that of a yellow shirt and some navy blue pants with that of combat boots. The other one was a quite muscular guy. At first I thought that he was the leader, given out how big he was, but it seemed like he's actually our age. He was really muscular. He wore that of a sleeveless tank top shirt. With that, also both the sides of his hair basically being shaved away, with only that of a brunette spiky hair look. If anything, it looks like he was just wearing casual clothes, with everybody in the room completely and utterly confused. So there was also this one guy with that of wearing basically an all black trench coat, and also he had a sword on him. Because he's saying he had a sword? Yeah, he also had that of white hair and dark skin too. However, also looking at him, it felt unease, like he was looking down right into my soul, actually. And then there was this one guy. He had that of blonde hair, also wearing a black jacket, but basically hoodieless, with a bit of fur on it too. Also wearing that of a white shirt, a necklace with that of a lion on it, and black pants too. However, what really is weird about the guy, he's the weirdest one of all. What then? Sai saying, he can't be that. He had cat ears. With then, all of the Heliopolis survivors inside of the bunk room, couldn't help but say, "What?" Hearing that, everybody but thinking that Kira was crazy. However, Flay, on the other hand, somewhat kind of believes him, given that her fear over coordinators basically overwrites everything. She wouldn't put it past them that coordinators would start splicing their genes with animals, to her making them more of the monsters that her father basically told her that they were. Little to her knowing that that's all completely and utterly false. Within finally reaching that of the briefing room, Natterall, alongside of two other soldiers from that of the bridge, finally sees that of the acting captain of the Archangel, the mobile armor pilot and actual, high commanding officer, Mu Laflaga, and seeing their guest before landing her eyes on that of Connor. Within, she couldn't help but be shocked and surprised before saying, "You," but then pointing at the blonde-haired young American, saying, "Me? Why do you have cat ears on?" Because I like them. As Connor is kind of completely caught off guard because just pointing out the cat ears as a whole, given that Mu and Natterall haven't really brought up the whole cat ear situation. Within, Narumi saying, "Ensign Badgerall, we'll bring this up later. We need to get information out of them first before you." But then she couldn't help but take a deep breath before breathing, saying, "Right, understood, Lieutenant." Then soon, noticing that of the soldiers still in the briefing room, they say, "You can all head back to your stations now. Make sure to put up your weapons back into the armory." Within hearing that, all of them say, "Yes, ma'am," before them all leaving that of the briefing room. Within soon, guy saying, "So what the hell are we gonna do now? So what the hell you want?" Then soon, Natterall saying, "You're quite rude," saying, "Can you blame us? This seems quite pointless after all." Then soon, guy thinking, "Why the hell is she speaking back to me? Seriously, Natterall normally ignores the player characters. She does get uppity when we speak certain dialogues choices, but still, this is weird as hell." Then soon, Takumi elbowing Guy once again into the side, saying, "Hey, will you?" Then soon, Takumi looking at that of Elijah, before Elijah saying, Right, I got it, Takumi." Before clearing his throat, saying, "Allow us to introduce ourselves. Ensign, was it? These are my teammates of my crew. My name is Elijah. This is Connor. This is Guy, who basically spoke out rudely, and that is my vice captain, Takumi." Then soon, Mu saying, "Well, pleasure to meet you guys. By any chance, the way you got those mobile suits and the way you were piloting out there, you guys coordinators?" Then soon, all of them say no, all at the exact same time. Within them couldn't help but blink. Within Elijah thinking, "Gotta play it cool. Hope you remember the plan, guys. Follow what we say when they ask that." Within soon, Takumi speaking up saying, "We may look like coordinators, we may act like coordinators, but we're not. All you saw was basically pure, unadulterated skill and talent in mobile suit combat. Simple as that." Within Connor saying, "Exactly. It took us basically months, days of unyielding training and skills to basically be able to pilot a single mobile suit. Because of that, if you think that raw talent and hard work is due to gene alterations, then that basically makes you a hypocrite." Then soon, Mu saying, Right, sorry. Within soon, guys saying, "It just proves that we're badass than any of any of you Alliance soldiers getting your asses kicked all the time. With then soon hearing that, the three Alliance, higher-ups couldn't help but feel somewhat annoyed at that. Especially Natteral. With then soon Elijah saying, other than what my comrade here basically said in a stupid and irritating way, with guys saying, I'm not apologizing. Regardless, we've worked hard and trained hard to get onto the skill level that we're at, especially with our mobile suits. Within Narumi speaking up saying, and that's the point I really want to know. Who are you all truly, and how did you get those, get mobile suits that look exactly like that of the Strike? Especially since we see few of them outside of the Archangel in space that look exactly like the Strike as well. Within soon Natter was saying, those mobile suits and designs are the property of the Atlantic Federation and the Earth Alliance as a whole. You can't how did you get your hands on government classified information? Within soon, Elijah basically saying, now's the perfect time to start bullshitting like a hell. Within soon, Takumi giving his captain a look and closest friend saying, you got this. I know you do. Within feeling reassured by his friend's look, Within couldn't help but smile. Before that smile went back to that of a neutral line before saying, all right, I'll give you a hint. First of all, let me tell you about our team. We are the Gundam. You can call us the Strike Force. Our entire motif and meaning is behind that of one of your GAT series mobile suits. That being the Strike. As on how we were able to get it. Who do you think got you the parts, designs, and works for those mobile suits? Morgan Reed may be a technological advancement. However, here you went to the Morgan Reed facility on that of Heliopolis. Their HQ and main facility is on Orb back on Earth. So the materials that you would need to improve, upgrade, and get each and every one of those GAT mobile suits to where they are now was due to us. Within, all of them couldn't help but have their eyes wide open. Before then, Connor speaking up, clearing his throat, and speaking once more, saying, as you see, we're not your typical soul kids, especially since I'm literally in my 20s. You could say we're all former war orphans, or basically people who were driven to the state due to the actions of both the plants and the federations. Within soon, hearing that, Narumi saying, and what actions are those? Within soon, Elijah saying, killing innocent people. The federations, especially the Atlantic Federation, allowed Blue Cosmos to steal a nuke and kill those of Julius 7. My family was on that agricultural colony. It wasn't even a military-based one on the plants. I lost my family, and that was the start of me losing everything. Within soon, a lot guys saying, I was on Earth. The plants basically just launched in-jammer cancelers onto Earth. And if you're somebody from that of the Eurasian Federation countries, well, you kind of get what I get. Literally, my entire family starved to death and I was the only one left alive. After those months with barely any food, I decided to basically work my ass up and reach a point where I don't even have to continue eating. As Guy thinking, God, this is one stupid ass backstory. Why the hell did I choose it again? More fact, why the hell am I even explaining it to a bunch of NPCs? Then soon, Connor speaking, saying, if you're asking about these ears, it's a little bit, complicated. Let's just say I was involved in a little terrorist attack by that of Blue Cosmos. They didn't give a damn about civilian casualties. All they cared about was killing a a supposed group of Zaf soldiers and that was basically in the area. I lost my hearing. I was basically told I would never be able to hear again. So, in a way, however, a certain scientist, mad scientist, actually gave me back my hearing. But I had to use certain animal ear. I had to use that of certain cat ears. That being the cat ears of a leopard. Gave me back my hearing and enhanced it, but at the cost of giving me these. Basically, flicking his ears. Before then, Takumi speaking saying, "The Alliance killed my parents in battle, fighting to protect their homes, simple as that. That's all." And soon, hearing all that in the explanation, all the three adults in the room couldn't help but feel somewhat uncomfortable, realizing that these four young people basically have been through what they've been through. Within soon, Moo saying, Jesus, I totally understand the reason why you're a little bit frustrated with that, how things are. Within soon, us saying, and that's where we come in. All of us originally had nowhere else to go, nothing else to live for, when our families and everything else was taken away from us. So, what's the next best thing? Either join the military or go off on the world on your own. We all found each other simply on accident. And we decided to make that of our own team. A team of people who are like-minded, understanding that there's no good guys on any side. Neither on that of the Alliance or in that of Zaft. They're all the same. So we decided to just do our own thing. So in shorter terms, within Takumi speak up saying the strike force is more of a mercenary company, or pirates, if you may say, given that's exactly on how that of the Atlantic Federation sees us. But we have our uses. Within soon, Connor saying, as for you're wondering on how we got the strike, well, we did a job for that of Morgan Reed, and they needed several parts to go behind the scenes and behind that of enemy lines and that of Zaft, and even that, and also in other countries as well. Hell, even in your own nation, even in your own countries, and that the Atlantic Federation and Eurasian Federation. Hearing that, all of them couldn't be shot. So, to make sure to get those parts, our ship, otherwise known as the Normandy SR2, has actually a stealth drive. It can't be completely cloaked, like entirely invisible. The stealth drive basically nullifies, suppresses, and basically blocks all form of, radio, communication, viewing, and sensors. It's basically the ultimate stealth ship. It took us months to being able to even make it, to be honest. Worth all the pennies. And as a reward for getting them the parts that they needed, we were able to gain that of a copy of the blueprints for one of your GAT series mobile suits, which we use all the time to either replicate or either duplicate or even make our own custom models, mimic after them. The tech we got also given as loan from that of each and every one of you guys, even from that of the plants too. With then hearing that, Nader was saying, so you're basically just doing what you can to profit off the war. With then soon, Connor saying, you can say that, but tell me, Nader Badril, I'm guessing that you've come from that of a long line of military background, by the way that you speak and how patriotic you are about that of the Atlantic Federation. With then saying, yes, then tell me, what would happen if that family of yours, every last one of them, were basically killed right in front of you? With then, soon, Nader saying, what? Tell me, how would you feel? How would you feel knowing that the people who you cherish, love, and basically known your whole life is basically gone? Just like that, in just a blink of an eye. With then, Naruto saying, you can't imagine it, can you? That's how we all thought at first too. Morals, laws, pride, patriotism, it means nothing to us. But then guys say, all that matters is results and getting the job done. Doing whatever means possible of winning. With then Takumi saying, don't get us wrong. We don't enjoy doing what we do, but we do it because we have to. It's the only way to survive in this twisted, selfish, and entitled world that we live in. With then, soon, Narumi saying, I see. So, care to explain why you asked to help us out? With then, soon, Elijah speaking once more saying, well, you see, we just came from that of Heliopolis about that of 3 months ago. We planned on heading back for that of shore leave and relaxation. But finding out that Zaf ended up destroying the entire colony as a whole, just for those damn mobile suits that we helped fix and helped develop, we can't help but get a little bit pissed. Even though some of us originally used to live on that of lived in the plants. Within Mu saying, exactly. Now that you think about it, you say you're not a coordinator. How did you live on the plants? Within Soon saying, I may not be a coordinator, but my little sister is a coordinator actually. My parents didn't have, after having me, my parents couldn't have any other children. So they gave in to that of having a coordinator child, that being my little sister. Both my parents and I were naturals, but my sister was a coordinator, a first-gen coordinator at that. They didn't want any persecution and they didn't want to suffer. To them, a coordinator is no different from a normal human being. But I'm guessing to those in the plants and Zaft, naturals are naturals and coordinators are coordinators. Don't even see each other as humans anymore. It's pretty easy to basically dehumanize people nowadays, isn't it? All due to genetics. With then soon, Naruto can help its sigh, saying, I understand how you feel, but within guys saying, best not make excuses, military lady. We all know it's basically empty words. With then soon, Naruto couldn't help but glare at that of the muscular young man. Then Elijah getting back on track saying, all the more reason that we wanted to basically get vengeance on that of Lacroixet for what he did. So we were basically tracking him down and his little team. So we were close to destroying those mobile suits. But of course, a certain someone had to retreat. Within soon, Elijah saying, I wanted to make it more personal. It's easier to basically take down the psychotic white meteor if he knows on who we are and where we're coming from. With then soon, Moose saying, it looks like you guys got some grudges with him. Within soon, all four of them saying, you have no idea. Within all the three adults couldn't help but feel somewhat, worried at that. Within soon, Narumi saying, so what will you do? Within, Takumi saying, we're going after Lacroixet. Although we know that he's going to be coming after the Archangel alongside his lapdog team as well. Within, Connor saying, so we'll basically stick around with you guys. Free of charge. No money, no pay, none of that. Within, soon, Connor saying, also, we are aware that civilians are part of that of the Archangel Crew as well. Over that of 50 civilians. Am I correct? Within, soon, Moose saying, yeah, the kid, the pilot of the strike Gundam currently, Kira Yamato, brought in civilians from Heliopolis. Said it was the only way to save them. Within, Naruto saying, I still think it's ridiculous and stupid. He should have just let them be and allowed Orb to get them. Within, soon, Takumi saying, unlikely. Some of the light pods actually did have that of busted life supports. They would have suffocated soon after. Within, Naruto saying, and how do you know that? Within, soon, guy saying, because we actually met those 10 guys that you see out there are all soldiers who basically wandered all across the remaining remains of Heliopolis and hailed that of that of people from the orb to come and get them. They even made that of signal calls to make sure that orb actually came and get their people, and sent them all the way back to their nation and homeland. Some people were lucky, while some weren't. Their life supports really did fail. 2 of them at least. With then soon looking back down, as then Naruto feeling somewhat bad, but still saying, I understand that, but protocol always. But then soon Connor saying, protocol won't save you. Following orders won't save you. You either do or don't. Simple as that. But of course you're a strict soldier. I can't expect you to understand. Miss Ensign Naruto, was it? With then Naruto looking away, before then Narumi speaking once more, saying, so you're wishing to help us. In return, well, we're mainly here to take down the Croisset and help out the civilians from Heliopolis. Simple as that. Best thing we can do is basically help you all in that of combat. As for supplies, we can't really speak to you on that one. We'll have to get back to you guys on that. Within soon, Mu saying, I think I can work with this. What about you two? Within soon, Naruto saying, I don't like it, but especially that we're placing our hands in that of mercenaries who are children and are not afraid to basically backstab their former employers as well. But within, she's sighing, saying, but fine, if you're willing to help us with no pay, then I'll accept it. But then Narumi saying, good, because I was actually about to accept their help if you didn't want to or not, Ensign. Within, Naruto getting annoyed at this before settling her features back into that of a neutral look. Before Narumi saying, well then, Captain Elijah, you and your strike force team, you are welcome part of the Archangel Crew at any time if you wish. You can even stay on the ship instead of your own if you wish. We may do that a few times just to get a feel of things and help out in a situation if we can. Besides, relying on a civilian kid to always fight your battles is kind of cruel, don't you think? With then hearing that, Narumi couldn't help but flinch for a bit. Even Mu couldn't help but flinch before narrowing his eyes a little bit. Even that of Naruto couldn't help but feel guilty before also getting angry at the words alone. Before they soon broke apart, saying, we're gonna head back to the Normandy. Let's get going, guys. Within, guys saying, all right. Within, Connor saying, okay, all right, Captain. Within, Takumi just nodding as all 4 of them soon leave. Within, soon, Narumi can help but say, those boys, they're way too intense. Within, Mu adding his own comment saying, yeah, seeing on and hearing about what they've gone through, can't really blame them. They're basically war orphans without even the war even fully beginning. Besides that other boy, but finding out that none of them are coordinators, but they're just that good in mobile suit combat just because, it's unreal, to be honest. With then soon, Narumi speaking once more, saying, all the same, I think it's best that we stay on their good side. As long as they're as long as they help out, especially with the civilians here, that's all that matters. We've seen on how powerful they are. They may have been replicated after the strike Gundams, but those things are far from what the strike that we have. There's something even more fierce. With then soon hearing that, all the 3 couldn't help but acknowledge the words of their acting captain, that making an enemy of the strike force is a death sentence that they can't afford to accept. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how'd you like the dialogue in this? I still wanted to show that the Archangel Crew are still basically wanting to keep are not as well kind-hearted or caring as they are, even though that they really are good people. They're still soldiers with that of a narrow point of view on how the world works. That's where the whole fictional backstory from each of our four main characters come from. That they basically have suffered from one end of the war to another end of the war, after all. So they don't show that this isn't just like from the whole, like instead of like how a whole neutral point of view, like saying, oh, those of neutral people, those of Orb suffer more than those of the Alliance or those of the plants. Yeah, give me a break. Also, them being that of a mercenary group on how they got that of, well, upgraded versions of the Strike Gundams makes a lot more sense. I mean, look at the freaking Astray Gundams, for example. A freaking, well, non-military corporation before turning into one, being like the Junk Guild, ended up getting that of the Red Astrays, alongside that of the Purple and Green Astrays as well. So I'm using basically the lore of Gundam Seed against them to get some more pity points for our main characters. Also, if you guys are kind of annoyed at the fact that Guy still doesn't think that that this isn't real, then it's kind of realistic, actually, or a, well, defensive mechanism. I mean, he's still a 15-year-old kid, so of course he wouldn't like the fact that he's basically sent into another world of one of his favorite anime of all time, fighting against actual real people instead of facing against that of NPCs or basically computerized characters at all. It's his only way of basically fighting against it. So yeah. Also, I know you guys are probably going to be wondering this or asking it, is there going to be ships in this story? And I will say this 100%, yes, there are. All four of them would be shipped with other people, with characters in this show after all. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to be coming back to the story, so I'm just going to say it out right here and now as I'm ending off the story. Elijah will be shipped with Lacus. Simple as that. Takumi is getting shipped with that of Flay, which you're going to see why when I post the next chapter. Guy is going to be shipped with that of Kigali. I'm kind of interested on how these two hotheads would basically, well, make their relationship work. As for Connor, he's going to be shipped with that of Natterall. So yeah, anyway, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to keep up to date my videos when I upload on the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my main channel, my other side channel, Cash App, and Patreon. All linked in the description below if I'm not too lazy. Anyway, with all that said, this is Leo Mookie, signing out. Later, guys, and hope you all take care.